Okay, we're gonna have to talk about the rating on this one. It may be, are they getting rid of it for another ride? Are they sprucing things up? And boy, did they spruce it up. It's one of those things that you overlook going.
Good to draw people in that, if otherwise they'd be bored just sitting there with nothing going on. It's entertaining just to sit and watch, but for us, we probably wouldn't just go there to watch it. It's just something that we would do if we were done and needed a little break.
Hey Islanders, this is Donnie, and this is our very first video, so we don't know what to expect, just like you. So, so today we're going to be going over the 50th anniversary of Kings Island, and we thought, what better way to start off our channel than to start off with the biggest thing in Kings Island right now. Which, by the way, the Islanders aren't just Kings Island people. We're just theme park, amusement park people who happen to love Kings Island. So a lot of our content will be Kings Island, and so today we're going to start off with Kings Island. So what we're going to do with this video is we're going to rate everything that we've done so far this season, 50th anniversary. They could be from entertainment to food to experience and all that stuff in between. So what we have here is a tier maker. Shout out to Rick's Flicks for this idea. And what we're going to do today is a general overview talking about the 50th anniversary here at Kings Island. And we'll do individual videos here of the different food, entertainment, and just break things down even further and give our thoughts on those. But today we're just going to do a general overview of the 50th anniversary. So, yeah. So, Kenzie, do you have anything to say before we get started with our rankings?
I don't think so. I'm ready to go.
All right. So, let's go ahead and get this tier maker ready. And we're going to go in order here, beginning with the 50th anniversary overall, beginning with the birthday celebration back on April 29th, and I have a cheat sheet right here to remember it. This is the commemorative program from that day. We were lucky enough to attend that, and so we got pins, we have this brochure, and we have something also that I'm going to wear the rest of this video, and that is these awesome birthday hats. No better way to celebrate a birthday than a birthday hat.
Crown.
My birthday crown, birthday hat, crown, whatever. But, all right. So, what were your thoughts on the 50th birthday celebration?
Overall, it was amazing. I mean, just every detail of what they did, I thought was great. They had new foods that you could try. They had a little parade. They had, I don't want to get too far into it too early, but just all the entertainment was just great quality, and they really went above and beyond what I was expecting.
Yeah, that's the same thing. It's Disney quality at a Cedar Fair park. I keep using that phrase over and over again, but it's truly Disney quality. But as for the birthday celebration back on April 29th, I thought they did well for a kickoff. They had a special fireworks, which if you go to YouTube, you could probably find it. The folks right in front of us were actually Fi Coasters, so go check them out on their YouTube channel. They record the whole thing. It was a hodgepodge. It was like your typical Kings Island fireworks. Mm-hmm. We at first thought it was okay, is this the Fun Fireworks 50? We
weren't sure because it was better than their normal fireworks, but it wasn't as good as we were expecting. As it was hyped up to be. So.
Yeah, it was kind of a letdown, I'm going to be honest. So the birthday celebration, it had everything from NSYNC, which had nothing to do with Kings Island, which actually they were at the Timberwolf. They performed in the 90s there, but I don't know how they would tie that into the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, and I will say, we weren't there for a lot of the stuff during the day, so we did miss a lot of the good stuff that they did. They cut the cake, they had, a lot of speakers and stuff, so we weren't there until the evening, and when we got there, a lot of that stuff was already over. So it sounded like it was a great day, that day. So
the only thing we missed, or actually got to experience, was Hi-Fi Honey. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really the only thing we were there even to see. So we ended up just kind of having a park day that night, just riding some rides and...
Yeah, and it was cool because we got a sneak peek of some of the 50th stuff. They rolled out all the decorations. Because we went on the second day it was open, that Saturday. Well, actually, it was opening day. That Saturday was opening day. Mm-hmm. We went on opening day, but the park looked normal except for the big 50th out front. So we're like, okay, is this what we're supposed to expect for the 50th anniversary? Is this it? But when we came back for this birthday celebration, it knocked our socks off.
Oh, yeah.
The park, it was festooned with gold and blue, and it had all those big banners that have all the rides on them, and 50th everywhere. Everywhere you look, there was 50th, and I'm going to take this off. This is sliding down my face. But that was a cool hat anyways that they gave them out. But everything was finally 50th ready. Mm-hmm. But don't get me wrong, opening day, it was nice walking into a freshly painted park. Yes. And it was neat seeing that.
Yes, but it was so clean. Everything. I remember we walked in and just, like, the fest house was beautiful and everything was so clean and nice.
Yeah, so just to have that extra bonus to a birthday celebration, we got to see the Peanuts. They were all over International Street. So here's a few pictures of that. Camera noise. If you know where that reference is from, good. But that's another channel to check out is Tim Tracker. Check him out. But I'm giving plugs for a lot of people today. I need to be sponsored by these people at this point. But back to the 50th anniversary. It's everything we thought plus more. So, Kenzie, how would you rate this? Or on a scale of, we're going to do this on 1 star to 5 stars. What would you say?
Just the overall experience, I would give it 5 stars because it went above my expectations. Like, I thought it was going to be cool, but it's been awesome.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's something that Cedar Fair I've noticed have started to take advantage of is their special events. And we went to Cedar Point last year for their 150th. Mm-hmm. Nothing compared to Kings Island. It's like, sure, they had the 150th stuff all over the place, but Kings Island, wow.
Yeah.
For a 50th anniversary, yes, it's a big milestone, but they shouldn't have done this much. But they, yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah, exceeded our expectations.
Yep, so 50th anniversary overall, plus the birthday celebration, 5 out of 5 stars. Mm-hmm. And the next thing we have here is the 50th anniversary street party. Kenzie, want to start off with this one?
Yeah, so the street party, it actually just started last week, so we were able to see it on Saturday. And I will say it's not a full-blown parade, so if you're going there to, like, expecting to see a parade, it's definitely smaller than that, which I think is why it's called a street party. So they kind of came out and had a big sign that said street party, and they had dancers and, like, big people on floats that looked like presents, like they were dancing, and it was just like a big party that in parade form, but it wasn't as big as a parade, obviously. So I mean, I thought it was cool. Like, they had some shout outs to the park, like they had like a blue ice cream, and they had a slice of, I guess it was supposed to be like La Rosa's pizza and like that kind of stuff.
That's a special pizza, that's for sure.
But like, I thought it was cool, but it was something, I feel like for me, it was like, I saw it once, so I'm good. So, you can give your rating.
Okay. We're going to have to talk about this rating on this one. It may be a mixture, but of course, going into it, it was not a parade. Mm-hmm. It reminded me of Disney's Shake It, Move It, Dance It, whatever the heck it's called. Wow. Wow, now. They had these big floats that looked like Disney floats, which, by the way, they didn't have to do that either. But
that's cool.
After seeing the Winterfest parade, which, oh my goodness, you need to see that when you go to Winterfest this year. Mm-hmm. And then the Grand Carnival parade. Mm-hmm. This seemed like it had potential to be those, but they didn't really go the full mile, which, if it was a budget thing, then spent it on other 50th stuff, they spent their money really wise on the other 50th stuff, I'll say that. Yeah. But This one I wasn't a fan of as much. Like Kinsey said, it's a one and done thing. I've seen it. Don't have to stop in the park to see it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, how would you rate this street experience?
Are we doing like half points or just a single point?
You could give half points. We'll come to consistence. Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll come to a conclusion of what we would say it is.
Okay. Like 2.5.
2.5.
3. 3.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a solid 2.
Okay.
All right, so Move It, Shake It, Dance It, Kings Island Edition goes at 2.
All right.
All right. This one, it's 50th anniversary, but it's not something we knew going into the 50th anniversary until we went to the park and they made the announcement. But the Beast Retrack. None of us were expecting this till the week of opening day, which we saw the sign out front saying, the Beast won't be open for the first month. And we're like, okay, what? But then on Facebook, they announced that they were doing a major retrack of the part where you feel like your head's about to fall off your body. And it's like your ribs start hurting and all that. But Beast is Kinsey's favorite ride in the park.
It is.
So tell us what your thoughts were. Go for it.
Okay, yep. Beast, like you said, is my favorite ride. I love wooden roller coasters in general. And, like, majority of my family, like, can't ride it or doesn't want to ride it anymore because of just, like, how bad it was getting. When you go around those turns and things, like, your neck would just, you weren't sure, like, which way to turn to, like, prepare yourself. So it kind of hurt. Like, after you got off, you were pretty much, like, something was wrong with your neck. So I think the first time that we rode it, going in, I was, like, bracing myself for those last 2 big turns. And it was, like, it was still the funnest ride to me, like, funnest ride ever, but it didn't hurt. Like, we went around those turns, and it didn't whip you so hard, like, around the corners. Like, it was super smooth, and, like, it still had the effect, like, you felt like you were going sideways, but there was no pain.
Yeah.
It was so smooth, and those spots where it was, like, getting real bad, it was so smooth, so I loved it.
Yeah, so we went on the opening night. So that Sunday evening, after we left our church service, we went straight to the park to get our normal evening meal there. But we were like, okay, let's see how long the line is for Beast. It wasn't long at all. It was almost...
We lucked out.
It's about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was 15 minutes till park closed, so we were lucky to get in. But we thought it was awesome. And like I said, it was a pain to ride. We wanted to give it the benefit of a doubt going into it. They retracted, okay. Racer did fine, which we'll talk about later. Racer's retrack was fine, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt with Beast. And they did a really good job. It's fast. You don't expect it at all going down. I think it's 100 or so feet longer now. But, I enjoyed it. So you can actually go back into our Instagram stories and see our actual reactions coming right out of the line for Beast. We recorded a video. We both were speechless.
Yeah.
So go and check that out. But how would you rate the retrack of the Beast?
I'm kind of biased, so, like, personally I give it a 5 because it's my favorite, but you're not, it's not your favorite, so whatever you think.
Yeah. The retrack was definitely a plus. But Kinsey said it's not my favorite, which I totally agree. My favorite ride in the park overall is Banshee, but I will say I enjoyed it. So, would you say 4 is fair?
Yeah.
All right, so 4. This next one I actually want to save for last.
Okay.
Because this one, you'll see why I saved it for last, but this may be my favorite thing out of the whole 50th anniversary. We'll talk about it later. Next is, we already rated that. So there's 2 pictures of Shake It, Move It, Disney Kings Island Edition, whatever. The next one, I wasn't expecting this one either. It is Tower Gardens. So, again, coming into the 50th anniversary season, they had the gates closed and they had it fenced off, so you could not go into the Tower Gardens. it looked like a mess going in. They're like, what in the world are they doing with Tower Gardens? Are they getting rid of it for another ride? Are they sprucing things up? And boy, did they spruce it up. It's one of those things that you overlook going into the park. You go there during Winterfest to see these old gingerbread houses. You go in during Haunt for the walk-through maze. It's been so many things, I don't remember what it is. But to go in, and I'm going to have some videos right here of some of the things that you can see in there. It's basically a walk through history. It's a walking timeline. You can walk through, and the pavers in there are all years the park has been open, all 50 years. So every year, every paver is a year, and everything that opened, closed, and what was special about that year. So we even looked up our birth years to see what was special. And the year that I was born, 1995, it was Nickelodeon Splat Zone, and I think that was the only big thing that year. But for Kenzie's, what was yours?
I don't remember. I think it was Flight of Fear.
Flight of Fear, yep. Okay. Good job.
Okay. You helped me
Flight
out there.
See if she remembered, but she passed.
Yeah.
But it's cool to look back and see all these things, and they have these signs along the way, mile markers, that cover every decade the park's been open. So the 90s, the 2000s, the 70s, the 80s, and they all give a blurb about each of the things that opened those years. It's cool. Definitely check it out. So, Kenzie, what are your thoughts of Tower Gardens?
Yeah, it was like a pleasant surprise because, like he said, I don't even think I've been in there except for like Winterfest and maybe Haunt when we've gone before. I never really even paid attention to it. So we walked in there and I was kind of blown away by all this stuff in there. It was amazing. They had like the big Eiffel Towers for each ride, and they had the pavers that had all the history and the signs that had all the history. It was really, really neat. I loved it.
So I kind of gave my review already and thoughts of it. So I'd say 5 for this. What do you say?
Yeah, it really was one of those things that was like a surprise, like a good surprise.
It's something they didn't have to do, but they did.
Yeah.
So it's a neat bonus.
Yes.
And the cool thing is they have 10 more spaces, 10 or so, I think 25 or 10 spaces left that are blank pavers, so they can write the next few years of Kings Island history in there. So it's a continuous, it's effort changing every time you go into there. So it's going to be brand new every season. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Definitely. It was like above and beyond, like you said, like something they didn't have to do, but it was really, really neat. Loved it. And
I was blown away by the Eiffel Towers too. We could go on about this one.
Yeah.
It's just something minor, but we loved it so much.
Yeah.
So Tower Gardens, yep.
Yeah, I would say it's something too that like everybody can do. Like if you can't ride roller coasters or if you can't, I don't know, do all the things at the park, like it's something that everybody can do and enjoy together.
So even if you're on a quick trip to Kings Island, let's say you have a gold pass, want to get something to eat, this is something you can take your food into that area, sit down, and learn a little bit of Kings Island history while you're at it. Yeah. So something cool you could do.
Yeah.
So, but it will be interesting to see how they do Winterfest this year and Haunt.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll hide some of this stuff or if it's going to be themed to Kings Island somehow. Like, it'd be cool to see, like, we're not too big of Haunt people, but it'd be cool to see them do, like, a history scare zone or something like that. Previous year's stuff, like have the Phantom from Fan Theater, which is something I'm going to cover later on. I love that. But in Winterfest, you could have, like, decorate the stuff with lights of Kings Island history or something. I don't know. But that is Tower Gardens. Next is Club KI. So it's interesting about this one. Yeah. When we first saw it, we thought it was, oh great, another dance party. This could have had potential. So like, we gave our thoughts and opinions on it. Like, oh great, another dance party at Kings Island. But we went back a week later after seeing some videos on Facebook and YouTube and all that. And I'll let you give your thoughts on it first. What you thought of it.
So like you said, when we first saw it, like, we didn't know what it was. So basically there was a portion of it where they call all the kids up on the stage and it's just like a big dance party and they just start dancing. So we thought that that's what it was. We thought it was just like a big dance party. But then we came back and they actually have like all of big rides in the park, there's like a themed person to each of the rides. Like there's a banshee and is there a beast?
King Cobra, beast.
King Cobra, yeah, some of the older rides too. And they like play different instruments and they're dressed up to look like themed to their ride. So I mean, it was cool. I think that outside space there, like on International Street, is kind of like
where it belongs.
Yeah, because it's good to like draw people in that, you know, if otherwise they'd be bored just sitting there with nothing going on. It's entertaining just to sit and watch, but for us, like, we probably wouldn't just go there to watch it. It's just something that we would do, like, if we were done and needed a little break. Much.
Yeah, I liked the concept, but personally I don't think it was executed well. Like, I wish it got the Phantom Theater treatment to where it had some kind of a storyline. It did a little bit. It's one of those shows where we were like, okay, we'll watch the full thing. First off, it was a scorching hot day, so that was a big no-no. And then I wasn't a fan of the music choices for it. They had a lot of repetitive songs. Like the songs where they say the same 3 words 1,000 times. So we're like, okay, if this is what it is, I'm done.
Yeah.
So for 30 minutes, we're going to hear the same lyrics. But anyways, I love the concept. I love the costumes. Love the set. Just not executed how it should have been.
Yeah.
But what would you rate this?
I mean, like, maybe between the 2s and 3s again.
I'd say 3, which I'll say this going into the whole rating. Kings Island's entertainment is the best I've ever seen it this year. They knocked it out of the park. No pun intended, but their shows, their entertainment, everything is phenomenal. Even though we kind of weren't fans of the street move it, dance it, whatever. I'm gonna keep saying that the rest of this thing. That's what it is. It's Disney's Move It, Shake It, Dance It, Kings Island edition. But Phantom Theater, 70s on demand, and we're going to see, as the day of this recording tomorrow, we're going to go see Off the Rails for the first time. It's opening day tomorrow.
Excited.
That show looks amazing, and my number 1 show this year may be knocked down to number 2 after seeing tomorrow, based off what I've seen of this. It's something Kings Island's never done before, and the concept looks amazing. Future Donnie here. I just wanted to hop on and say that we did see Off the Rails the following day of this recording, and it was amazing. Yeah, we're going to leave it at that for now, but we are going to do an entertainment video here soon, so stay tuned for that. Now, back to the past Donnie and Kinsey. Yeah. But the entertainment overall this year, they've knocked it out of the park. It's awesome. Yeah. So, Club KI. Next is the 50th anniversary merch, which Kinsey is sporting.
I didn't know this was one.
One of those things, and it's one of the things the park highlighted this year is 50th anniversary merch. And something I enjoyed, which half of my wardrobe now, and half the... If they put out anything this year, I pretty much have it at this point. They did a good job. The logo looks really nice and clean. Just everything. There's so many options with the logo. We loved it. And they have Racer. The Racer turned 50th this year, which is one of the opening day attractions. So Kenzie actually got one of the shirts from that. I like Racer, but not that much. She loves wooden roller coasters. I love the steel.
I like the shirt, too.
Yeah. But,
it was a pretty color.
It was a nice red. But the merch this year is good. Is great. The logo's fantastic. I love it. And I was joking with Kinsey, if they made a print of the sign that's over the entrance of the park, I would buy that. It would be in the Islander studio. And if you've seen that,
so cool. It's
really cool. It has every single ride that's currently in the park. And I think they have 1 or 2 that are nods to former rides on there. And the graphic is amazing. But 50th anniversary merch and logo. What's your thoughts?
I loved it. Yep. I'm a sucker for a good t-shirt.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And I even have like a little, I used it today at work. It's a, I was about to say thermos. That shows how old I am. But a water bottle with the logo on it. I love it. So what would you say for it, the rating of the merch and branding?
I think they've done a great job.
Yep.
5?
5, yep. So, next is 70s On Demand. So, we almost saw the whole thing. The playlist is really good.
Oh, yeah. So
and
good.
It's in the Fest House, which I'll kind of give my review on it now, but it's your typical Fest House show.
Yeah.
You're sitting there eating your La Rosas, eating your Panda Express, something to get out of the heat, sit down the AC, watch people move it, shake it, dancing on stage to 70s music. But I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It ties the 70s in with Kings Island. Kings Island's the key focus at the very beginning of the show. They sing some of the hits of the early 70s, do some TV show theme songs. Then the end, it has the 70s songs transitioning into the 80s. So I thought it was pretty good. And the cool thing about it is, like, they have, like, 5 or 6 costume transitions that are, like, really quick. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of it?
It's my favorite Fest House show ever. Like, I love that music. Like, I knew a lot of the songs. So for me, it was cool just, like, to have the background music when you're in there eating. Like, just to have something to listen to. It's all fun and upbeat, and they do a really good job with it. Like, it's entertaining. They're, dancing. Like you said, they change costumes and stuff. And I really liked it for what it is. I mean, it's not like something I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta go see that show. Like, but for what it is, like a dinner, it's almost like a dinner show, and it's entertaining. I really like it.
Yeah, it's a good Fest House show. Not my favorite. My favorite all-time show in the Fest House is one, when I was younger, it was called As Seen on TV. It did all the classic TV show theme songs throughout the decades, so they'd break them up into decades, and like they even had The Office playing at the very beginning of the show. So dun, 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 dun,
That's cool. Yeah, I haven't been going as long as you, so I've only seen the past couple years. But
so that may be something I might do in a history video of the Fest House shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
But As Seen on TV is my favorite show. The second I'd say would probably be the British Invasion, which kind of seems like this show a little bit, but it had like the Beatles and all the people who came over from Britain, and the boy band show was pretty cool. But I'd say this is up there. It's pretty good. So what would you say for 70s On Demand?
I'd say between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Whatever you think.
I think, yeah. We'll give it a 4. Give it to the Fest House.
We love the Fest House. That's normally where we end up eating, like every time we go.
Which, growing up, and Kenzie knows this, and everybody who knows me about La Rosas, I'm not a fan of La Rosas. Growing up, I had it every single Friday. That was our meal since there was a La Rosas right around the corner. I hate La Rosas. But the Fest House La Rosas is different. I'll say that. It tastes different than what you get in the restaurant, so I love the Fest House La Rosas. I don't know what they do, but it's really good compared to the restaurant.
It's probably more stale. Anyways.
It might be. But stale is actually good at the Fest House. But anyways, we digress.
All right, moving on.
Next is probably my number 2 favorite show that might be knocked down to 3 after this weekend. But it's Phantom Theater Encore. I love Phantom Theater. It's a piece of my childhood. And to see it back in a live stage show was really cool. And to see all the characters I knew growing up, it's not one of those rides I rode every time I went to the park. It's something I remember from my childhood, but it wasn't my childhood. Hanna-Barbera Land was my life growing up. So all the Scooby-Doo coaster, Top Cat Taxi, all that stuff. Growing up, that's what I loved. But to see Phantom Theater and to have a refresh in my mind of that was really cool. This has to be the best stage show Kings Island has ever produced.
Oh, yeah.
Every summer I've been to the park, my family wasn't really big into seeing the shows. We saw, like, the Fest House, obviously. We've seen International Street, stuff you'd walk past. But we saw the Cirque du Soleil show a couple years ago at Kings Island. I think it was Gravity or one of the shows. That was cool and all, but this was, like, top-notch. Even compared to the Winterfest shows and Haunt shows we've seen, this is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's Broadway quality. That's how I'd label it. Disney Broadway quality. What's your thoughts on it, Kens?
Yeah, so I don't really have the background of Phantom Theater because, like I said, I didn't really grow up going to Kings Island. So for me, it was kind of all new. And Donnie, like, I had just seen, like, a YouTube video of, like, a ride through of the ride. So I wasn't exactly sure what they were going to do for, like, how they were going to make it into a show. But I thought it was really, really great how they had, like, the Larry, the usher, and the maestro and all of them. And they also, like, they did a really good job with, like, tying it all together. They had, like, the music and, like, the theme of it was, like, they had all, I mean, maybe I shouldn't give it all away right now if we're going to do another video on it. But just the theming of it was really cool. Like, and then they also had, like, acrobats in it, too. Like, they had that cool stuff in it that just makes you, like, say, wow. Like, it was, they had that and also the music. And it was definitely the best show that I have seen at Kings Island.
Yeah.
In the theater.
And before I get my final thoughts on this, I do want to insert a clip that I recorded the day before we saw it for the very first time. This was my original thoughts going into it. I didn't know what to expect at all of Phantom Theater, but here's a clip of what I did as a pre-show review. Hey Islanders, this is Donnie. I just got off work and I saw an announcement from Kings Island's Twitter that they are doing 2 showings of the Phantom Theater Encore this evening. So Kenzie and I are about to head over there once I get home and get cleaned up a little bit. The first showing is at 5 o'clock, which is going on right now. And then the second showing is at 6:30. And at the time of this recording, like I said, I'm just getting off of work. So I just wanted to make a video real quick, kind of giving my thoughts, or pre-show thoughts, and what I'm expecting from this show. First off, anything Phantom Theater I love, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. And as far as how they're going to pull off this show, I have no idea. I don't know if it's going to be live performers. I don't know if it's going to be the animatronics. I really don't know what to expect for this show. If it is a bringing back the animatronics, it's going to be so cool to see that in person again, and some of those set pieces. But if it is live performers, I'm excited to see how they're going to pull this off, especially how they're going to do that ghostly look, and especially the maestro and how he looks. So I'm excited to see that. And by the description, it says that it's a toe-tapping show as a tribute to Phantom Theater. I don't recall any songs from Back of the Ride. I even watched the POV that Kings Island put out a few days ago, and there weren't really any songs. There were, except for like the theme song that was instrumental. So I'm interested in seeing what songs they are going to be using in this show. If it's original, if it's like the other shows in the park where it's classic like rock songs. I don't know what to expect, honestly. I don't see it being rock. I can see it being something like the Peanuts shows that they have in the park, where they're family-friendly kids songs of pop culture songs. So I'm excited to see how they're going to pull that off. As far as the set, I can see that being the theater, being the Phantom's theater, the Maestro's theater there, and I don't know. I'm just excited to see this, and I've been talking to Kenzie too. She didn't grow up going to Kings Island as much. Kings Island's been a staple in my life ever since I was a little kid. We went there every year for my birthday, which my birthday is in July, so we'd go every year for my birthday. And back in the day when it was Hanna-Barbera, Phantom Theater was there. So I don't know how many times I rode it, maybe once or twice as a kid, but it wasn't my favorite ride, obviously. As a little kid, it is a little terrifying, I'll say that. But looking back at it, that was a piece of my childhood, and I'm excited to see them bring that back to the park. With the 50th anniversary this year, everybody can look back at their past Kings Island and things they grew up with, whether it was seeing Evel Knievel doing his stunts at the park, Whether it was Enchanted Voyage, I never got to experience that. Phantom Theater is what I grew up with, and Scooby-Doo and Boo Blasters, but everybody has a little bit of something this year at Kings Island, and I love that, and that's just what I'm excited about. But as you could tell there, I didn't know what to expect going into this. I didn't know if it's going to be a puppet show, which there's an awesome puppet. Like, get this. Going into it, I thought that they were just going to have them in ghostly form as a puppet. Mm-hmm. I also thought that it was going to be, I don't know. I didn't know if it was going to be the original animatronics in there that they refurbished. I didn't know what to expect. Mm-hmm. But they had live actors that looked like the characters. You could tell who was who. And how they did Legless Larry was awesome.
Yeah.
So if there was a puppet, I was right about that.
Yeah, there was a puppet.
But it was very well done. We'll talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, how would you rate Phantom Theater?
I loved it. Like, I would give it a 5.
I no doubtably give it a 5.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Yeah.
Next is the Racer Retrack and Repaint. Oh. So the color scheme they have this year, the red, white, and blue, is how it looked on opening day in 1972. Yeah, that would not be 50 years. But in 1972, this is how it looked to park guests. Even the signage on the entrance to the queue is back to the original state. So the lettering, the logo, was the original. One thing I wish they would have done is they had this big billboard out front of it that said The Racer and had like a 70s looking drawing on there of the Racer. I wish they brought that back, but they did a good job bringing back the original vibe of it. Mm-hmm. So, what were your thoughts of the Racer Retrack and Repaint?
I'd say, like, for the retrack portion of it, it's nice. Like, it was another one of those rides, like the Beast, where it was getting to the point where I was like, I don't even want to ride this. I like it, but it's not worth it because I get a headache every time I ride it. And now it's one we ride, I think, every time we've been to Kings Island this season. I'm pretty sure, maybe once or twice we didn't, but every time we've been there, we've ridden it just because it's usually a short line and it's nice and smooth. So I say the retrack I love, and I think it looks cool and retro. I love the paint job and everything. They did a really good job. Yeah,
so I love the Racer too. It's one of those that's a quick ride. Mm-hmm. You hop right in line, you hop right on. And it's good to have that nostalgia back. So I'd say 5. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yep, bring back a piece of Kings Island history in a whole new way, which I'm surprised it's lasted 50 years. I'm surprised they have kept it that long, and they've taken really good care of it, I'll say that, and brought new life to it. Mm-hmm. So the next and last portion of this before we get to the grand finale of what I've saved for last is the food section. So a little bit of review on some of the food we ate.
And I think we're going to do another video on the food, like, more in depth, right?
Yes.
So, okay, so I won't... We
won't give too much, but we're just going to say what it is and place it on here. So kind of give you a sneak peek of the food, which, again, it's one of those things Kings Island shouldn't have done, but they did.
Yeah, it was so cool. It made it feel like a festival.
Yeah. It was a birthday party. Mm-hmm. You had your treats for the birthday party. Mm-hmm. So the first thing here is the 50th birthday cake, funnel cake.
Mm-hmm. Happy birthday funnel cake.
How would you rate that? Without giving too much away.
Without giving too much away, I'd give it about a 3. It was delicious, but it was almost odd together, like paired together.
I agree.
Okay.
3. The Vortex, aka Snickerdoodle sandwich with blue icing, which I'm going to save a little more detail later on.
Yeah, we had 2 of them.
We have, so we had the Snickerdoodle cookie sandwich Vortex thing and the funnel cake. Both of those have something special about an ingredient in it, which we'll talk about later. But how would you say for this?
I loved it. I love Snickerdoodle cookies. I love blue everything. Mm-hmm. That was one of my favorites.
It was good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have.
You say 2, 3. I think 2.
Really? Okay.
So, what do you think? 3, 2? one blast off.
I loved it, but whatever you think.
We'll keep it at 3. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is one Kinsey had specifically.
Ooh.
The golden ice cream.
Yes, and I actually... Oh, go ahead.
It's not what you think it is either.
Yes. So I don't know if I should go into it, but you can get the golden ice cream mixed with the blue ice cream, and that is what I got. And it was incredible. That was very good. Honestly, I would actually probably rate that above the cookie. I think I like that better than the cookie.
Okay, so 4.
So good. Yes, 4. Perfect.
This one is something I would buy again. But I won't say anything about it till later in another video.
Except it's non-alcoholic.
It's non-alcoholic.
They didn't have anything alcoholic.
We're going to specify this now. The specialty drinks we got were not alcoholic at all. It's a personal conviction of ours that we don't drink. So we didn't get anything alcoholic. So this one was called the Birthday Bubbler.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
It's something I would buy again. That's all I can say.
I wish it was in a bigger quantity. I won't get into it too much, but it was good. You think
I'd
5?
say 5.
Oh yeah, it was really good.
The Eiffel Tower pretzel. It was not an Eiffel Tower.
It tasted good, but it didn't look so good.
It didn't look like an Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, I think 1 or 2.
Presentation, not so good. We'll show you a picture of it later. Taste, it didn't even.
It's like your typical theme park pretzel.
This is hard not to say much about it without giving you a full food review about the taste and all that.
Yeah.
Which we'll show you videos and things about it later on. But
you can give it a 1 if you didn't like it.
What?
We don't have anything on 1 yet.
So there we go. We're breaking the mold. Here's another thing Kinsey got.
Yes. And just so you know, we didn't get all these in one day. It's been like spaced out over time.
There's no way,
like
especially after one of these. I'm not going to say which one yet. After one of these, there's no way I want to eat anything days after it either. So.
Oh, yes. So this was the butterscotch. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Butterscotch cupcake. But it's actually a cinnamon roll on the bottom with butterscotch icing on top. So it was very good. I actually took it back. We were staying at Camp Cedar, so I took
another video coming soon.
Yes. So I took it back to the cabin, and like the next morning or whenever I ate it, heated it up in the microwave for a few seconds, and the cinnamon roll was nice and hot. So I would give that one a 3. It was pretty good.
Okay. All right. So the next one is one I had. I don't even remember what it was called.
It's called like the something
birthday
fizz.
brew. Something, I don't know.
Something fizz, I think.
Birthday, I don't know, 50th, I don't know. All I know is it's a mixture of drinks that you couldn't tell it was those drinks. It's more of one than the other, which again I'll tell you later. This is hard.
I know, it's hard not to go in depth, but
I'd say I'd give this 1.
Okay.
That's going down to 1.
1 is good. Like, the good thing about it was you got to keep the plastic mason jar thing. It's cool looking.
I gotta get this. Alright, so now it's holding my Grand Carnival beads and whatever the heck this is inside here. So, this is how big it is. Was it worth the price? No. Was it worth the price of the mason jar? Yes. It was worth the mason jar. Same thing for souvenirs. This is not really a 50th anniversary, but I'm going to tell you something about it. This huge mason jar right here should have had this drink in it. This had blue ice cream, cheesecake, cotton candy, sprinkles, whipped cream, even more blue ice cream. This thing was full.
So
it's going through the handle.
It's called the Orion.
It's called the Orion.
Blue. Yeah.
Never again. There's no way one person could eat it. It was very good. I love blue ice cream. Not one person should ever have to eat that alone.
It was
Kinsey. I asked her, do you want to have a bit of this? No. She goes and gets blue ice cream.
I thought that you asked if I wanted anything from that booth. I didn't realize he asked if I wanted a spoon, and I thought he asked if I wanted anything. Anyways.
Lesson learned.
Yeah.
It takes more than one person to conquer that thing. So 2 are better than 1.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about the 50th anniversary, you've heard so many reviews about this, and we don't want to give a full-on review quite yet. We're saving this for the entertainment one. But you might have noticed that one thing is missing so far, and it is fun fireworks and 50 fireworks spectacular. Oh my gosh. Goes back to what I said at the beginning of the video. Disney quality at a Kings Island park. This is why I say in every review I've done of this so far. If you listen to the Park Hoppers radio, Austin and Owen, again, put on a good show. Shout out to them. But they had me on there giving a 60-second review of this, and there was no way you could do 60 seconds talking about this.
Oh my goodness.
This was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're ever at the park this season, you have to see this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're not giving any spoilers quite yet. You have to tune in soon to our entertainment ranking video. But I think we can agree this goes at 6.
Yeah.
It goes at 10.
It was a 6.
It's a 10.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
So it goes at 5. So we're going to go ahead and sort this a little bit more to see what is the grand champion of the 50th anniversary. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 things in our top 5, in our number 5 ranking of this. So I'm going to go through these all, and we're going to come down to what is the Kings Island 50th anniversary you must do, which I think we know what it is.
I think you gave it away, but should we just start knocking the least out?
But start giving why we love this. Let's get it down to our top 5. Let's see what our top 5, number 5 things you must do at the 50th anniversary. So beginning with the birthday party overall, of course, it's the 50th anniversary, but we're not going to technically count that. Or whatever. Tower Gardens. Does this stay in the top 5? Like, you have to do this if you come to the 50th anniversary.
What's that one?
Phantom Theater.
Okay.
But we're going to go, so we're going to go down the line. So Tower
I think
Gardens.
So.
You got to do it. It's really cool.
Yeah, agreed.
You got to buy some merch. Of course. You can definitely buy some merch.
Yeah, I mean.
Does it stay in the top 5, though?
This is hard. This is where we disagree. It's cool, but it's...
Not top 5 worthy.
Yeah.
All right, so Phantom Theater Encore. Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely see it.
Uh-huh.
Racer Retrack. Ride the Birthday Boy, I guess.
I like the Beast better than Racer, obviously, so... I mean, yeah. Anyways.
Well, we already have our top 5, but we're going to go through and say if it deserves still being in top 5.
We still got 6.
Yeah.
So we can knock out one more.
The Birthday Bubbler.
That was my favorite thing that we had, so I guess snack-wise, yes?
Yeah. And then Fun Fireworks 50.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's worth staying at the park till 10 p.m., not 10 a.m. There's no reason to have them at 10 a.m. But you have to see it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So we have figured out our thoughts on the 50th anniversary. So, have you been to the 50th anniversary at Kings Island? If not, we highly recommend it. If you're able to, definitely go check it out this year. You won't regret it. So, even when you come to the 50th anniversary, there's a chance you might run into us at the park. So, if you see us, stop by and say hi. You can get one of these Islander stickers. I was about to say stencil, but you can make it in stencil if you want. But you can get one of these Islander stickers. Just say hi, and we'll give you one. We have plenty, so if you want to see us every time you're at the park, cool. But yeah, we want to give you this as just our way of saying thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting us on our endeavors to start the Islanders. We're brand new to this, so we don't know how this video turned out. So we're excited to see.
Hopefully it's still recording.
That's a good thing. Let's actually see. Yes, it is. Not through that part, but we've been hit through our first video, so that's a plus. But again, check out Kings Island this season if you're able to.
It's the best.
We're not getting paid for any of this. They're not paying us to say these things. We truly love the park, and we love what they've done this year. They didn't have to do it, but they did it.
Yeah.
So it's honestly a love letter to their fans.
You know what we forgot?
What?
Barry Williams.
He's coming later. We're not saying where he is.
Okay.
But he is involved
He was
with
in
the
my
50th anniversary.
5 stars.
Yeah, he is 5 stars.
Anyways.
I guess we can say this. We saw him at the park on the 50th anniversary kickoff on Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
And we got some stories that we could tell you later on about it.
Mm-hmm.
We might save that for another video, but he might have thought we were stalking him. I'll say that.
If we weren't.
We were not
Promise.
stalking him. I think he is stalking us. He's like, Islanders? Yeah, I got to get on them. So,
Right.
but definitely check it out. Kings Island is a 10 out of 10 out of my opinion. I love it. It's been a part of my childhood. And can't we sit there doing the next 50 years at the park? And the future's bright. With if they continue in the path that they've proven this year, they're on a good track. So, a few last things at the close of this video. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for this channel. And follow us on Instagram. We're at The Islanders Vlog on Instagram and Facebook as well. And you can also visit our Islanders shop. It just opened yesterday as the time of this recording.
Yeah.
So you can get yourself a t-shirt. We got this design. We have a nod to a certain dinosaur movie that's out now with a certain dog that the park likes to promote. I won't say any of these names because we're not being sponsored by them. If they want to sponsor us, they're cool. They're absolutely welcome to do that. But check out there, and we have some nods to past Kings Island as well. Plenty of stuff for you to choose from, and we have some limited edition stuff coming soon for the upcoming season. So, any last thoughts before we go, Kins?
I think I'm good.
All right, so at the Islanders, we like to say that we're all clear and we're up and out of here. We'll work on that. Bye.